Lie down on your back. Knees bent, feet flat, arms down at your sides. Find symmetry in your joints and just connect with your breath. Draw in a deep breath, expanding the belly below the rib cage. And then exhale, feeling your body rest and settle into the earth. And again, deep breath in. And exhale, release. 2 more grounding breaths. At the end of your last exhalation, begin to curl the tailbone under, pressing the lower back down into the mat into posterior pelvic tilt. Reverse the motion, arching your lower back, tilting the pelvis forward into anterior pelvic tilt. Exhale again as you tuck and flatten the lower back down into the mat, and then inhale to arch and create space. Continue rocking the pelvis, coupling your movements with your breath, allowing your lower and middle spine to warm up in flexion and extension. Notice how the body is receiving this movement, and keep the neck and upper back stabilized on the mat. One more round. Inhale, arch, and exhale, tuck. To find neutral spine, we're going to release this full imprint or tuck about 25%, so that our pelvic bones and the rib cage are in the same plane. There's a tiny little space under the lower back, not much. The pelvic bones and the pubic bone lie in the same plane as well. Maintain neutral spine, neutral pelvis, and then clear the throat. Cough. You'll feel your lower transversus abdominis begin to contract. Tighten up that transversus abdominis firmly while you continue breathing through the nose, out the nose or mouth. This is called TATD breath, which stands for transversus abdominis, thoraco-assisted diaphragmatic breathing. Maintain TATD breath as you begin to warm up the hip joints, marching in place, floating one knee up above your hip at a time. The idea here is to keep the pelvis very stable and the transversus abdominis along with the pelvic floor and the multifidi in the lower back and the respiratory diaphragm all working together. Now moving out of this sagittal plane movement, we're going to move into the transverse plane, opening one knee out to the side without letting the opposite pelvis rock up. Switch, open, and center. Not letting your leg flop out uncontrollably. You're moving through resistance by creating this synergistic co-contraction in your hips, in your core. Continue focusing on your breath and alignment. And then transition, right leg long on the mat. Flex your toes up towards the shin. You may have to recalibrate neutral spine, arch, tuck, flatten, release slightly, and then begin to lift right leg up to the height of your opposite knee, feeling the strength in the front of the thigh and the stretch in the back of the thigh. Slide the heel up and switch, left leg extends long, and begin. This is also known as a straight leg raise, but we're really focusing on the core stabilizers of the middle trunk to engage as we're doing this. Palms in, D shrug, neutral neck. Inhale, reach your arms up, float them overhead without shrugging the shoulders, without letting the rib cage pop up. These floating arms can be wider width apart than your shoulders to prevent any pinching sensation or impingement in the shoulder joints. What you want to avoid is reaching up, letting the rib cage rise and arching the back as you reach overhead, shrugging the shoulders. Instead, you maintain neutral spine. 2 more. Let's add a circle. Sweep the arms out wide, around and up. Focusing on the breath. As we introduce this circumduction of the shoulders, we're going to reverse. Sweeping the arms up overhead, out and around, wide and in. Settling the arms down into the mat, nod the head gently side to side. Find neutral spine again. TATD breath, pat your chin gently as you hover your head an inch above the mat. Notice the weight of your head working the deep neck flexors, longus colli, longus capitis in the front, and multifidi in the back. Rest, release, nodding your head side to side. And again, chin tuck, brace, pelvis, powerhouse, lift, hover, and hold. You can even float your arms up an inch as well. Strengthening the deep corset of the neck. And then release, nod it out side to side. Walk your feet out mat width apart. Begin to roll your hips side to side into windshield wiper. Creating a little bit of hip rotation and trunk rotation. Noticing any restrictions you might have in the hip joints or the spine, or through the side rib cage. Breathe into those muscles, breathe into the joints. And then back to the center line. Pressing palms down into the mat, imprint your spine as you float one knee up above your hip, tabletop position, followed by the other. You can connect your legs together or separate them slightly if that's more comfortable for your sacroiliac joint or your lumbar spine. I'm going to connect with heels together, toes apart. Curl the chin towards the chest, lift up higher than the inch, gazing towards the belly button. Float the arms up and pump the arms up and down. Inhaling for 5 counts. Exhaling for 5 counts. We're going to do this 10 pumps for 10 sets. Progression is to extend your legs up to the sky, connecting heels together, toes apart the whole time. Keep the shoulder blades down the back, limiting any shrugging of the shoulders. Eyes gazing at the belly. And then you can lower down to your challenge point, lowering the legs without allowing any space in your lower back, keeping your belly button towards your spine. If your neck becomes really fatigued, you can place one hand behind your head and support it as needed. Rest, hug your knees into the chest, release the neck, side to side. Moving through the supine series, we're going to do abdominal series next. Single leg stretch. Keeping the right knee into the chest, the left leg up to the ceiling, level 1, lowering it down at a high diagonal, level 2, and then hovering above the floor for more advanced mat work. Your outer right hand is on the ankle, inner left hand is on the knee, elbows wide, shoulder blades down the back, curl up, eyes on belly, and then switch. Outer hand is on the ankle, inner hand on the knee, and then switch, and switch. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. Keeping your head, neck, middle back, lower back, tailbone, all very stable and still as you have this dynamic movement of your arms and legs. Last 2. Release. Relax the neck, double leg stretch, head and shoulder blades up off of the mat, eyes on belly. Arms legs shoot up to the sky like a dead bug. Sweep the arms only out wide, around, and hug them back in. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, sweep around, hug it in tight. Inhale, stretch up, sweep around. Exhale, hug it in tight. Progression, challenge point. Arms go up by the ears, legs go away from the midline. Sweep around and hug it in. Six to 10 repetitions, and then release. Nodding your head gently. Double leg lower lift, hands behind your head. Knees above chest, tabletop position. Curl up, legs up to the ceiling. You want a 90-degree angle at the hips. If your hamstrings are tight, it's okay to bend the knees so that you can achieve that angle here. And then from here, keeping the lower back, middle back flat on the mat, lower both legs, point toes, and lift the legs back up through resistance. No momentum. And again, 6 to 10 repetitions. Your progression would be obviously to lower those legs down and then lift them back up slowly with control. Really feeling your entire powerhouse engaging. And rest. Last one of the stomach series, crisscross. Hands are behind the head, knees above chest, tabletop. Rotate upper torso to the left as you straighten the right leg long. Center, exhale, twist, center, twist, center, twist, center. Keep your pelvis anchored to the mat with an imaginary seatbelt. As you're continuously breathing, keep the elbows wide and look behind the elbow, and then rest. Release. And that concludes the Supine series for Therapeutic Pilates. I hope that my exercise videos will help you to increase your strength and stability, improve your confidence so that you can do your daily activities pain-free. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to connect with you soon. Namaste.